IGCSE Physics, Paper Code 0625, Paper 1, Variant 2, February, March 19, and today we are going to solve question number 1 to question number 20. Question 1. Water drips from a tap into a measuring cylinder. The table shows the volume of water in the cylinder every minute for 4 minutes. What is the average volume of water collected in the cylinder each minute? Here it is asked average volume of water. To calculate average volume of water, what we have to do? We have to divide the total volume of the water collected by total interval of time. Total volume collected is 112 centimeter cube and the total time is 4 minutes. So what we have to do? We have to divide this 112 by 4. When we will divide 112 by 4, we will get 28 centimeter cube, that is given here in option B. So correct option, option B. Question number 2. An object is moving with uniform deceleration. Which statement describes its motion? Option A. Its rate of change of speed is decreasing. Rate of change of speed is decreasing means it is deceleration. So here it is asked which statement describes its motion. So this option is incorrect. The same thing is given here what is written in the first sentence. An object is moving with uniform deceleration. Option B, its speed is constant. If speed is constant, then there is neither acceleration nor deceleration. So option B is also incorrect. Option C, its speed is decreasing. Yes, it is the correct option. With the decrease in speed, there will be deceleration, and with the increase in speed, there will be acceleration. So here our correct option, option C, its speed is decreasing. What is given in the option D? Its speed is increasing. If speed is increasing, then it is not deceleration, it is acceleration. So here correct option, option C. Question number 3. A ball rolls down a ramp. The time it takes to move from X to Y is measured. Which other quantity must be measured in order to calculate the average speed of the ball between point X and point Y? To calculate the average speed, we should know two quantities. First, total distance. Second thing, total time. Because average speed is given as total distance over total time. Now here time we have already measured. So the second thing that we should measure is the distance between X to Y. Now we check the option. Option A, angle of slope. Angle B, diameter of ball. Option C, distance between X and Y. Option D, height of ramp. Here distance between X and Y is given here in option C. So here correct option, option C. Question number 4. An astronaut in a space station orbits above the Earth. In the space station, the acceleration due to gravity is 7.5 meter per second square. On Earth, the acceleration due to gravity is 10 meter per second square. Which statement about the astronaut's mass and weight in the space station is correct? Mass always remains constant. So the astronaut is on surface of Earth or in satellite, its mass will remain same. Mass remains constant. What about the weight? Weight is given as product of mass and acceleration due to gravity. W is equal to m into g. Now here acceleration due to gravity, in space it is given 7.5, on Earth it is given 10. Since acceleration due to gravity on Earth is more as compared to acceleration due to gravity in the space station, so the weight of the astronaut will be more on Earth as compared to weight in the space station. So here we can say in the space station, weight of the astronaut will be less as compared to weight of the astronaut on Earth. Now we check the options. Here we have two columns. In the first column, mass of the astronaut is given. In the second column, weight of the astronaut is given. Now in option A and B, it is given that mass of the astronaut is same as on the Earth. So here possible options are A and B. It is already discussed that mass remains same, mass remains constant. So here possible options are A and B. Now in the option A, in the column weight, it is given less than on the Earth. It is the correct option. It is discussed that the weight depends on acceleration due to gravity where the acceleration due to gravity is less, weight will be less. Since acceleration due to gravity is less in the space station, so weight of the astronaut will also be less in the space station. So less than on the Earth is correct option. So here correct option A, mass of the astronaut is same as on the Earth and weight of the astronaut is less than on the Earth. Question number 5. The mass of a full bottle of cooking oil is 1.3 kilogram. When exactly half of the oil has been used, the mass of the bottle plus the remaining oil is 0.9 kg. What is the mass of the empty bottle? Here, mass of the bottle and the oil, it is given 1.3 kg. It is given here that half of the oil is used. When half of the oil is used, the new mass we got 0.9 kg. So here what will be the difference in between 1.3 and 0.9? This difference will be the mass of half of the oil. When we subtract this 0.9 from 1.3, we will get 0.4 kg. So here we can say mass of half of the oil is 0.4 kg. Now here mass of half of the oil is 0.4 kg. So total mass of the oil will be 0.4 plus 0.4. It will be 0.8 kg. Total mass of the bottle plus oil, it is 1.3 kg. Now here we have calculated that total mass of the oil is 0.8 kg. So mass of the bottle will be equal to 1.3 minus 0.8. So the difference is 0.5 kg. This 0.5 kg is mass of the bottle. 0.5 kg is given here in option B. So correct option, option B. Question number 6. A solid ball has a volume of 4 cm cube. The density of the ball is 1.6 gram per centimeter cube. What is the mass of the ball? Density is given as mass over volume. Here mass we have to calculate. So mass will be equal to density into volume. Now density is given 1.6 gram per centimeter cube and volume is given 4 centimeter cube. So 1.6 multiplied by 4, it will be 6.4 kg. Now 6.4 kg is given here in option D. So correct option, option D. Question number 7. Which property of an object cannot be changed by applying forces? Option A, mass, B, shape, C, speed, D, volume. We know mass always remains constant. So here with the application of force, there will be no change in the mass. So here correct option, option A. Question number 8. The extension load graph for a spring is shown. The unstretched length of the spring is 15 cm. When an object of unknown weight is suspended on the spring, the length of the spring is 16.4 cm. What is the weight of the object? Here it is given for the unstretched spring. The length is 15 cm and when we suspend a weight, the stretch in the spring is 16.4 cm. So here what is the difference? What is the extension? Extension will be equal to 16.4 minus 15. 16.4 minus 15 means 1.4. So the extension is equal to 1.4 centimeter. When the extension is 1.4 centimeter, what is the load? What is the weight? Now here this one 3, this one 4, this line is in between 3 and 4, so it is 3.5. So here the total load, total weight is 3.5 Newton. Now 3.5 Newton is given here in option C, so correct option, option C. Question number 9. The diagram shows a wooden beam with two forces acting on it. Here one force acting in the downward direction 5 Newton, here one force acting in the upward direction, it is 5 Newton. Which way will the beam move? Here the force is in the downward direction, here in the upward direction. So this body, this object will try to move in a clockwise direction. Now we check the option. The same thing is given here in option D, turn clockwise. It will move in a clockwise direction, that is given here in option D. So correct option, option D. Question number 10. Which source of energy uses the production of steam to generate electrical energy? Option A, hydroelectric. Option B, nuclear. Option C, tides. Option D, waves. To generate electrical energy, we need steam only in nuclear reactor. So here correct option B. Question number 11. What is the unit of power? Unit of power is watt. And watt is given here in option D. So correct option D. Joule is unit of energy. Newton is unit of force. Pascal is unit of pressure. Watt is unit of power. So correct option D. Question number 12. The diagram shows a U-tube manometer containing three liquids: mercury, liquid X, liquid Y. Neither liquid X nor liquid Y mixes with mercury. Which row compares the pressure exerted by liquid X and by liquid Y on the mercury and the density of the liquid X and the density of the liquid Y? Here we are looking that mercury level in both the tubes, it is same. Since here mercury level is same, so here we can say pressure exerted by the liquid X and pressure exerted by the liquid Y will be same. Now we check the options. Here it is given, we have two columns here. In the first column it is given pressure exerted by X and pressure and by Y on mercury. Pressure exerted by X and by Y on mercury is same, and it is given here in options C and D. Pressure of X and Y is the same, is given here in C, and also same thing is given here in option D. So possible options are C and D. Now what about the density? We know pressure is equal to rho GH. Rho GH means rho is for density, G is for gravitational field strength, and H for height. Now here we are looking that in liquid Y height is less. Here this height is less, pressure is same for both the liquids X and Y. Since here height is less, here height is more, so definitely here density will be more as compared to density of the liquid X, so that the pressure exerted by both the liquid will be same. So here the density of the liquid Y should be more than density of the liquid X. Density of the liquid Y is greater than X. It is given here in option D. So correct option D. Question number 13. Which diagram shows an athlete exerting least pressure on the ground? Pressure exerted by a solid object is given as P is equal to F over A, where F is for force and A is for area. So where the contact area is less, the pressure exerted will be more, and where the contact area is more, pressure exerted will be less. Here out of these four figures, we are looking that the contact area is maximum in option B. Since contact area in option B is maximum, so the pressure exerted in option B will be minimum. It will be least. So least pressure will be in option B. Correct option B. Question number 14. A car tire runs over a nail which makes a hole in it. The air in the tire leaks out. Why does the air leave the tire? Definitely the inside pressure of air is more than the outside pressure, so the air will move outside. Now we check the option. The same thing is given here in option A. The pressure inside the tire is greater than the pressure outside, so this option A is correct option. Question number 15. On a cold day, a metal measuring tape graduated in millimeters is used to measure the distance between two fence posts. The measuring tape reads 3000 meters. On a much hotter day, the metal measuring tape is used to measure the length of the same distance again. The metal measuring tape has a higher temperature than the ground. The temperature of the ground remains constant. Which statement is correct? First thing, with the absorption of heat, a metal expands. So here this measuring tape will expand. When this measuring tape will expand, the graduations will move apart. Since they will move apart, so the total distance measured by this measuring tape will be less. Now we check the option. Option A, the measuring tape reads less than 3000 meter. Yes, it is correct. It will read less than 3000 meter because the graduations are closer together. No, it is incorrect. These graduations will not come closer. These will move apart. So option A is incorrect. Option B, the measuring tape reads less than 3000 meter because the graduations are further apart. Yes, it is the correct option. When it is heated, it will expand. When it will expand, the graduations will move further apart, and when they will move further apart, it will read less value as before. So here correct option, option B. Question number 16. A thermometer has graduations which start at -10 degrees centigrade and ends at 110 degrees centigrade. What is the lower fixed point and what is the upper fixed point of the Celsius scale? In the calibration of a thermometer, the least point we take melting point of ice and the maximum point we consider boiling point of water. Melting point of ice is 0 degrees centigrade, whereas boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade. So for calibration, the lower point we will consider 0 and the higher point we will consider 100. Now here, same thing is given in option C, lower fixed point 0, upper fixed point 100. So correct option, option C. Question number 17. Which row describes the process of melting? Here we have three columns. In first column it is given initial state, then final state, then change in temperature. Here it is asked which row describes the process of melting. Melting means conversion of solid to liquid. What about the third column? Change in temperature. When solid is converting to liquid, the temperature remains constant. Whatever be the heat or whatever be the energy we are providing, that energy is utilized to convert its state, and during the change in state, its temperature will not change, it will remain same, it will remain constant. So change in temperature, no, and initial state solid, final state liquid. So correct option, option D. Question number 18. Four campers are warming their food on a fire. They use different rods, each of the same dimensions, to hold their food near the fire. Which material is the best choice to prevent their hands from getting too hot? The best choice should be a material that is not a good conductor of heat. Now we check the options. Option A, aluminum, B, copper, C, steel, D, wood. Here the best option is wood, because here all the remaining options A, B, C, aluminum, copper, steel, they are metal. Metals are good conductor of heat, so here heat will be transferred easily and we cannot prevent our hand from getting too hot. So here correct option, option D. Question number 19. A beaker of water is heated and thermal energy travels through the water by convection. What happens to the density of water when it is heated and how does the water move? When we heat water, what happens? It expands. When it expands, expansion means its volume is increased and density is given as mass over volume. So with the increase in volume, density will decrease. When the density will decrease, this water will move up. Now we check the options. In option A it is given the density decreases. Yes, it is okay, it is correct. And the heated water moves downward. No, when the density decreases it will move upward, it will not move downward. So this option is incorrect. Option B, the density decreases and the heated water moves upward. Yes, it is the correct option. With the decrease in density, the heated water will move up and the cold water will move down. So option B is correct one. Option C, the density increases. No, density will decrease because here volume is increasing. So option C is incorrect. again in option D it is given the density increases, density will not increase, it will decrease with the increase in volume. So option D is incorrect. Question number 20. The diagram shows a wave before it reflects from a barrier. Which label section of the diagram represents a wave front? Option A represents direction of movement of energy. So option A is incorrect. Option B is the wavelength. Option B is the distance in between two wavefronts. So this will represent wavelength. So option B is also incorrect. Option D represents barrier. So this one is also incorrect. Correct option is option C. This C represents the wavefront. So correct option, option C. Okay, now we have completed up to question number 20. The remaining part from 21 to 40 we will solve in the next session. Thank you very much.